All right, today we're going to be talking about the hormone insulin. It's the main hormone in our body, which helps control and regulate your blood glucose or sugar levels. And it does this by signaling certain tissues in the body, such as fat and muscle, to take in glucose from our bloodstream when our blood glucose levels become elevated. Now, when this is working fine, we consider someone to be insulin sensitive. When people start having issues with this, we consider them to be insulin resistant, and in severe cases, we diagnose them with the disease known as type 2 diabetes. Now, when you have type 2 diabetes, you still have enough insulin in your body. It's just that that insulin can no longer properly signal those tissues to take in glucose from the bloodstream. And that leaves you with elevated blood glucose levels, which, if left unchecked, can lead to a whole host of health issues down the line. Now, type 2 diabetes is very closely related to obesity. And these conditions are currently costing the Canadian healthcare system over $3 billion a year, showing the need to not only understand insulin resistance, but also try and figure out strategies to help improve people's insulin sensitivity. And the good news is that both exercise and cold exposure have been found to independently improve insulin sensitivity. And they both do this through an increase in energy expenditure. When our body wants to produce energy, it has two main fuel sources, carbohydrate and fat. Now, exercise in a very obvious way, right? Whatever activity you're doing, your body needs to produce energy to power it. Cold exposure, on the other hand, when your body gets cold, it's going to want to heat itself back up. And we have to remember, whenever we produce energy, part of the energy is always dissipated as heat. So your body's going to produce energy and heat in two different ways. One, it's going to start contracting muscles, mostly in the inner core. That's called shivering. Two, it's going to activate a tissue known as brown adipose tissue or brown fat, which is a fat tissue that can take in fuel and produce energy and heat. Now, how does this actually help insulin sensitivity? It helps in a bunch of different ways, but one simple explanation is our body stores glucose all over, in the muscles, in the liver, and when we expend energy, right, our body creates that energy using those glucose stores, and when those stores get depleted, they're going to want to refill themselves. They're going to go to the bloodstream to take in more glucose. That's going to kickstart that insulin signaling and help improve our insulin sensitivity. Now, what has yet to be tested is exercising in the cold compared to exercising in a warm temperature on insulin sensitivity. And we think that exercising in the cold might not be as beneficial for insulin sensitivity. And the main reason is that when you exercise in the cold, you burn more fat and less glucose. We also have a study that shows that postprandial, meaning after you've eaten a meal, glucose metabolism is a little bit more impaired after exercising in the cold compared to exercising in a warm temperature. So what we're going to do is an 8-week high-intensity interval training protocol on a bike in either a cold 0 degrees Celsius temperature or a warm 20 to 22 degrees Celsius temperature. And we're going to measure insulin sensitivity pre and post and see exactly how they compare in both conditions. Thank you.